So my name is Awiskar, and in our language, Awiskar means to discover or like to invent. The way I was named, it has shaped me a lot, or like my mind has been shaped a lot because a lot of people have asked me in my childhood, like, what are you doing, Awiskar? Or like, what are you inventing in a way? So
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, anything. Like that question has repeatedly shaped me in such a way. Maybe I'll do something or like invent something or create something. And I think because of that only, like the passion towards creating or like inventing something has like been there.
It's very cool that your name has been like a guiding question for you or something to aspire to. I love that. Yeah.
And the interesting thing is like in my childhood, like I was given three names. Like when I was born, like one from my mother that is like Kushal, and then from my grandparent Keval, and then like suddenly like my father had to go to just make my date of birth card, so he went through a route and I don't know what he thought of himself, and like could have been like a very unique thought for him, like, but then when he reached out to the office and like when people asked him what is the child like what is the name of the child, so that story I think is quite unique for me because my father, I don't know like how he shaped, like how he thought in such a way, because that was like a singular decision that he took, not in front of the family but a single decision.
So does your family call you Awiskar or do they use the names they gave you?
So yeah, like everyone in my family like just calls me by the name Aviskar, but in my childhood like one used to call me Keval, one other one used to call me Kushal. So I was like, which one is my name? And eventually, with um, time, like everyone started calling me Awiskar because my parents said, "Oh, his name is not that, this and that, so
Yeah.
his name is Awiskar." So like,
Is it a unique name in your area?
I think it's quite unique also and like common also at the same time because I have met like two, three people in my life who might have had the same name.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But the unique thing is now I'm here in a space like where I'm getting to like explore a lot of things. I have a roommate who is like who has a birth date as same as me and
Oh,
of the
cool.
same year. And we are living together in the same room. Like he's my roommate. So yeah.
Wow. That's so
Like,
cool.
yeah.
When we were speaking earlier, you mentioned that you live in like a community with other creative, artistic people, and you're sort of building it all together. And you called it an ecosystem. I think that's so cool. Is it all kind of younger people, or it's people of all walks of life?
Um, I think these people are all the people who are aged below 30, or like maybe if one or two people who are above 30, like 33, 34
Yeah.
maximum, I think. So those are all like midlife, below midlife people. So I think this space is very unique in Sikkim. I must say that because when I go out of this space, I feel like where am I? I don't find myself. I was fine being in that space. Like it's a very comfortable space, like where a lot of different perspective comes together and like um, they work for each other in a way. So
Mm.
it's quite unique. But when I go out of the space and talk to the people, I don't see that kind of mentality in them. I feel sometimes maybe like I have been so like normalized with these people. Like I am so habituated of seeing these people that other people feels very reckless or like not sort of mind that I may like. So
Huh.
yeah, that's been here.
So you kind of created like your own culture inside of the larger culture. Yeah. Because what you
Hmm.
described sounded like almost like culture shock when you leave your space and you're like, "Oh, oh, different culture." It feels really different on the outside.
Yeah, but I was a part of the outside world actually. But when I
Yeah,
came in here,
yeah.
I fit in more easily, and I feel like myself, like expressive more.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
but when I go out of it, it's like totally, yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here on the podcast to hear some stories of your life. I like
Mhm.
to ask guests about what they're reading or watching or listening to, any kind of medium or mediums.
Recently, I have been listening to your podcast. One,
Oh, great.
secondly, um, I recently read The Alchemist and
Paulo Coelho?
yes,
Yeah.
and Buddha. So those books are very interesting for me, like because I think in my life I have just read books from my school. Other than that, I have not read any book, or like I could not complete any one book. So I think The Alchemist was the first book, and I really liked it. The idea behind it, like how life works, or like
Mhm.
how we are focused into something. So yeah, how like life directs you and those things.
Yeah.
But wherein Buddha, like it's like a little bit of contradictory. Like
Yeah.
Buddha is some sort of anime kind of book, but I don't remember the name of the author. But um, it's about the life of Buddha. So the in that book, I think he was given it like there was a prophecy actually, that the kid of that guy is gonna be the greatest king of the world. But Buddha didn't agree on it and he broke it. So it's like the alchemist is like how life like is gonna be, and Buddha is like how life is gonna be, and you can break the chain of the thing, or like the how, yeah. So those things.
Yeah. Those are really deep topics. I can't believe you're like, "Oh, I haven't been able to read a lot of books, but I went with The Alchemist and learning like very difficult." I mean, not difficult, like the words are difficult, but I think the ideas are really not everyday ideas. And another reason I wish I had more lifetimes as me so I could read all the books out there.
Hmm.
Um, what are you listening to? You mentioned that you were listening music or other things you listen to.
Yeah, I listen. Like recently, I found out, like as I am into a field of like filmmaking, a little bit of editing and things.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of type of music. So that helps me shapes the mood in the like the film. So recently, I've been listening to Requiem, and it's very hypnotic, and the way he sounds is like totally different. So
Is he a horn player or saxophone player?
yeah, some sort of like, yeah, I
Oh,
think Thom is X.
oh,
Okay.
cool. I'll write that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much good music. Um, Even though I'm not a filmmaker or really an editor, I've had the opportunity to, and I think I'm curious what you think because I was really surprised to realize how important sound is to visuals.
Yeah, I
It's
think,
almost impossible to edit without, like, rhythm, without music in mind.
hmm, yeah, I feel like silence is also sort of some sort of music. It's a
Mhm,
very peaceful and calming thing, but as well as it puts you into some sort of like a thinking mode very deeply. But yeah, in editing, like I think music is like a weapon, like you can use side by side. Like
mhm.
you can change gears, like those kind of things. So yeah, I think Tesla also like told us about the hertz and all. So he also told about the how like the vibrations and all can like do a lot of things, and it can alter the state of mind. So
Yes.
and physical state also. So I
Yes.
think a lot of things goes on with music. So it can really make you wild, and it can really make you sober. So
Yeah. Yeah, and we know sound is fascinating because sound travels in a waveform, but it's also a particle. And so it has a duality. Anyway, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because I want to talk to you about it. What do you do when you need to relax or find balance?
I just don't do anything. Like that's the very best moment for my life because I just stay still. And I think the best way to like put yourself in a very relaxing mode is like by meditating.
Mhm,
To me, like um, in my college time, like the last 3 years, or like I did meditation for almost like continuous a year kind of thing. So every night around like 12, somewhere around, I used to wake up and do meditation because in daytime or the evening time there's a lot of sounds going on in the background. So nighttime you hear the real sound, I would say, like the winds and insects like buzzing. So it's very calming and for you. Like that's the best like time I found for myself to just meditate and be with myself. But it's very hard also at the same time to be like consciously like closing your eyes. It's like very hard because yeah, you can sleep anytime.
yeah.
So
Mm,
uh, I think consciously like closing my eyes, like I was able to do for maximum like almost an hour. Like after that, I couldn't do it because I was able to see a lot of things. I mean, like I don't know, it could be my imagination also, but I haven't really checked on like what that is. But mm, I used to see visuals of like eyes popping into the like face, and
mhm,
it was like
mhm,
quite scary. Yeah,
mhm.
but I used to see all those. But now I have stopped it. Like I just breathe in, breathe out, like relax for a while, and just sit by myself. I don't
Mhm.
meditate nowadays, so I've just left it. Yeah,
Just
because
too scary.
yeah, I feel like if I continue, I would go like,
That's how I felt studying philosophy, that I was gonna go mad if I kept
mm,
doing that, because that's a type of can be like a type of meditation, that incredible focus that you bring, and you try to both relax the focus, like your eyes going out of focus, but weird things can happen when you spend a lot of time looking inward.
mhm.
Um, brain is a crazy place, so maybe you're just on
Yeah,
a break, taking a break from
mhm.
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm now into like video making nowadays. So that's
Different kind of
definitely.
focus, but that takes so much focus. So you are a aspiring filmmaker. What got you into filmmaking? What attracted you to it?
I was brought up into a very cultural education system. Firstly, I graduated in math, and I felt like math was very lovely for me. Like I loved doing math and all the equations, hard equations, like sitting in front of it. I loved doing all those things, thinking much more in a very complicated manner. I
Mm,
love doing those things. But after a period of time, I think the cultural education system like snapped out the love for like education or like the love for mathematics. Because the way they were teaching me was very like read, come, or like practice, come, give exams, get your marks, you're done. So, which was not sufficient for me, I guess. I wanted it to be more practical. I wanted it to be more like where did this come from? Like a little bit of applicable part that I was searching for math. I couldn't get it. but still a lot of like things are there like which I still relate to life, like say theories like graphs and all, like those are all things that I relate. But then after that, I did a break because yeah, I was not having a good time with education. So after that, I came here because my friend was just like calling me, like, this is a good space. I think you should join it. Like, you
Mm,
will like it. So I tried it out, and yeah, it took me 1 month to just understand how the like space is functioning, or like how the space is like built, or like how they are collaborating with each other. After that, I came here, and then I joined first because I was from the math background. I firstly joined Progressive Learning Foundation, where they were like teaching the teachers how to teach. So
is this with Sam Kaiba?
yes, yes, I just did my exposure there like for 2 months, and it was interesting how they were doing things and what they were doing. It was very interesting, but I couldn't find my place because I felt, you know, this like that place could have been a place where I could apply whatever I had learned, but I couldn't because, like how rusty the education system here is. So eventually, side by side, I was doing a little bit of media stuffs for PLF, wherein I got linked with Sikkim Film Academy, where I
Ah,
am currently working in. So, and then I tried out this space here, and I loved it.
mm,
And I found out like the way I was thinking from math, or like the way I was thinking how things could get applied from math to real life world applications, the complicated math and stuff like so. Um, I don't know, but the way of thinking was making me fit for editing and all. Like I think it
mm,
was a lot easier for me.
mhm.
The way that I was thinking, yeah. And also side by side, like I was listening to all sort of music. So I think that was adding on a lot for me in
Mm,
editing process.
mm.
And yes, to me.
Yeah. Music is so creative and artistic, but it's also very, very technical if you want to try and explain it. And filmmaking and what you were describing too is like also creative and very technical too.
It's kind of hard to explain music for sure. Because yeah, yeah, I think music works on beat and editing works on beat. As I was listening to all sort of music, like beats played a lot of role. The first videos that I had made, or like yeah, the works that I've done, those worked on music. Like those were basically I was putting the cuts on music.
Mhm.
But um, after some time, I found out like it's not the best way that you can explain the story by just cutting on the beats. I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
I think for me, like you have to give time to visuals also, because this is where you get attracted to. This is where your eyes are like lined up to. So I started working on those parts also later on, and now sometimes I feel like I've mastered it, but sometimes like, when I see the films and all from other people, like it just feels like no, you have done it so bad. Like yeah.
It's interesting to me because you've described this really cool community you're part of, and filmmaking strikes me, it seems to be a very collaborative thing that you can't make a film with one person. Um, is that something that you like about filmmaking? Is it something that's difficult about it?
It's a very different way to say. I currently though we have like 4 to 5 people in my team, like who are just mainly shooters and editors. No sound design guy, no like color grading guy.
Yeah,
We are in loss for those things.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, I think I really like the part of collaboration also. But the better part is like it's a very personal connection for me towards filmmaking, because um, I'm able to express like a side of me where like a little bit of feeling that comes into me, I'm able to express through it, like
Mhm,
by putting it in music and visuals, like what
mhm.
sort of things that I can do.
What are some films that you love, that you've seen that have inspired you? I
Yesterday I was watching one, like really one, like um Big World. Like it's a, I don't know if it's a Chinese or Korean movie, but yeah, but that film revolved around like a guy who is like physically incapable of, and he blamed at his at one point he blamed at his parent for like having him born in such a way, like giving birth in such a way, but also his parents were having like um a hard time with that thing. So it's about the bonding of how they were like surviving, and
Mhm,
also the how the society looked towards them,
mhm,
and yeah, and how that guy felt by himself. So, and also he wanted to just prove the world wrong that physically incapable people are not, like we have our thoughts, no, okay, like these people are not capable of doing a lot of things,
yeah,
but then yeah, and but he tried to do a lot of things. He
yeah,
went into a cafe, worked for them,
yeah,
but he had a very sharp memory, not like
yep.
that. But yeah. Oh, yeah, the disease was cerebral palsy. See,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, cerebral
yeah,
palsy. Mhm. My work started working with children with learning differences and physical disabilities, including cerebral palsy or cerebral palsy, depending
mhm,
where you're from, how you pronounce that. Um, and it was shocking to me to learn the history of like, so someone with cerebral palsy might have a lot of difficulty communicating or not at all. There's all different sort of parts of the spectrum of that. But until at least in, America, until really recently, if you were born with cerebral palsy, they assumed that because your body was damaged, your brain was damaged, and cerebral palsy does not affect the brain like that. So, you can have a brilliant brain, average brain, whatever, in a body that others perceive as being
mhm.
incapable, but your mind is totally capable.
Totally capable. Yes.
And, like, it was shocking to me to learn about how they were locked away in mental institutions and just treated like they weren't human, because of maybe the way the body worked. Yeah, so films like that can affect, I think, more people than reading an article or reading a book sometimes, because you can really see, like, how valuable everybody is and, like, that they're not what you think, maybe.
Mm.
Mhm.
I also had a feeling like that guy must have really hard have had a hard time. I mean, like if I were in that situation, how could I have survived? Or like how would I have been doing? Like, those thoughts came into me, and like yeah, I would, because in my childhood I have been a jungle guy. Okay, like I have
What does
been
wait a minute, what does jungle guy mean?
a jungle guy. I mean, like I have like my like way to going to like school was through a jungle.
Oh,
Uh,
literally a jungle guy.
Literally
Okay,
a
sorry.
jungle. So almost a kilometer away
Mhm.
from my house, and I would like I used to walk. Like I think almost 10 years I walked through that path, and I never felt like it was the same path, old path. Like
Right.
I think, like to me, every day it was a very nice feeling to walk through that, and I remembered all those things, and like going into the jungle, breaking branches, like hanging through the trees, like
Mhm.
being with my friends, making huts out of those branches,
Yeah.
leaves, jumping into the like dried leaves, like every sort of feeling. Like I remembered all those things watching at that movie, and suddenly I felt like how would I have been like if I had that disease, or like yeah, I felt quite sad also at the same time, and yeah, quite hard.
Mhm. One of my philosophies about differences amongst people, the way their brains are different, the way their bodies are different, is that when when we use the word disability, that's a reflection of the environment, not the individual. Because let's say that your jungle path, someone had made a really nice smooth part to the path so that if
Hmm.
someone were had difficulty walking or needed a wheelchair, they could still participate in that kilometer walk to school. Um,
Hmm.
and then they would not be disabled from having the same experience. So it's not that
Hmm.
the individual is disabled, it's how we've created space for people that can disable them, right?
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
definitely. Jungle was jungle for me. I mean, like it was quite a hard thing.
Yeah. No, no, no. I understand that would have taken a lot of work. Um, do you have, other filmmakers you look up to and have been inspired by?
I think Park Chang-wook, um, um, no other choice. Like he made a film, no other choice, and it has been popping a lot in like feeds, and I have been wanting to watch it. Like
Mm,
I've been crazy wanting to watch it, but I have not getting the like I'm not getting the time. So I feel like
cool.
I should go for it
You
soon.
should totally go for it.
And also Wong Kar-wai. Wong Kar-wai, he made Fallen Angels. These are just the people who I look up to in terms of filmmaking. But like as I was in like education, like in my education side, like I was a student of like a little bit of science and math. So I really looked up to like the guy who made graph theory, John Nash and Albert Einstein for sure,
Wait,
and
is
Nikola Tesla.
yeah, because he's extraordinary. Is John Nash the guy who they made a movie about called Beautiful Mind?
Yes, definitely.
That's
Yeah,
him. That's him.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We need more movies about Tesla. Are you gonna make one?
If I could, yes,
Oh,
definitely
please.
one.
I don't think enough people know his name.
The creation that he was about to do was wireless electricity.
I know.
Yeah, and I really had that thought today. Like it was raining so harshly here in Sikkim, like in Gantok. So I was in my room, like sitting there, just in my thoughts, like
Mm.
how the like I was planning out things, and I just sat for a while, relaxed, and as it was raining harshly, so I just looked outside. When I looked at the pole, electric pole, I felt like this pole is blocking my view. I mean, those wires like are so placed recklessly, I would say,
Mm,
because
mhm.
it's a very. I feel it could have been a very clean society if the poles were not there with the wires hanging out so badly, and could have been very. The electricity could have been very accessible to a lot of people. So those thoughts like really hit me, and I was like, Nikola Tesla, you should have done it. Yeah. Hmm.
When those early vehicles were being made here in the
Hmm.
States, I don't know about elsewhere, but I know, like, a little bit of the story about Ford, an
Hmm.
early I mean, he stole ideas, but whatever. But we all had already created an engine that could take, like, vegetable oil, it could take sustainable things, like, out of a restaurant that we already had and, like, reuse energy in these really effective ways. And then politically, the oil and gas barons basically stopped those vehicles and force them to use diesel fuel, force them to use this finite, very toxic resource. We could have been hundreds of years ago, we could have moved away from oil and gas, but we didn't.
I think it's all human nature. Like either we don't know how this can shape us, or either we are just afraid of how it can affect your business, or like how it can affect your family. Like some like the top hierarchy are like I don't understand it. It's like very cruel sometimes, but also the lower people who are down there sometimes also should understand that the higher people are very cruel. Like because they have shaped them in such a way they don't understand each other. So I think that's where the relation is like
Mm, mhm,
so done. Yeah.
mhm. What do you wanna do with film? I wanna ask you, like, you've shared a little bit about what got you into it. What do you want to do with it? What are you hoping happens in your career?
I think I'm just going with the flow right now. But I really want to make good films that gets a lot of recognition because I think recognition is in some ways a validation to your work. Like you did something good, which was unique. So I think a lot of validation has to be there for myself so that I become a good filmmaker. Because
Mhm.
um, I feel like a little bit suppressed by myself. Like I feel like it's not good enough every time. So I like um, so I feel like if other people sees and like they say like or they feel that this thing is better than anything, that would like put a lot of validation. So I really would love to make films that are going throughout the world.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and
You'd like to be well known.
yeah, well, and yes, like if my film can like help a lot of people, I would really be happy because yeah, like the film that I told you about, cerebral palsy, like it creates awareness about how these people can be.
Mhm.
And so if my film can be something that can aware or like make a little bit of change,
Yeah.
so I would be really happy to do that. And yeah, I think in a way I need to grow more and more every day, better by better. So yeah, so that I can really do my work in such big manner.
What kind of stories do you wanna tell?
I haven't thought about it because yeah, there's just a thought that it should be good enough to just convey a message.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
the story behind, like if I had thought about the story, there would be a script that would be coming out in my head. So, so
That's what
yeah,
you're figuring out? Well, that's
yeah.
why I'm asking these questions because 'cause I'm curious about, like, what stories you're drawn to, what stories you wanna tell or, like and it's totally actually, it's probably good not to have a super rigid idea of that so that you can just experience things and grow and figure it out as you go. That's, like, makes a
Mhm.
lot of sense. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's where you have the authority to create or make changes however you want. I think it just makes you a creator of the world that I think it's like it's a very different world that you can curate all things that how you want it to be. So I think filmmaking is
Yeah.
quite a very expressive platform and maybe a very personal one, I would say. To me, I think a lot more personal connection. I think maybe if I were to make a film, I think I would make a personal story out of it. Now that
Mhm.
I'm getting a sense a little bit, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Did you study film at all, like the technical side of it, or you're teaching yourself?
Yeah, I'm like hitting myself
Cool.
and learning by my own, like it's quite hard. I'm running into mentors like
Mm,
when I'm working. So and side by side, like just more than filmmaking, I think I like visual narrative. So I'm getting into photography also, where
mm,
yeah, I'm like getting a good mentor here, like for photography. Like he's like
cool.
my an elder brother. He's
Yeah,
Pagil. He's like a very good photographer.
yeah.
So I think I really appreciate his work. Yeah. Maybe for me also, like I found out that if I start doing one thing, like I only tend to do that thing continuously. Like um like now that they like these people have put me into a little bit of administration also,
Mm,
uh other than filmmaking, like I'm having a very hard time because um I thought I would just be like creating videos, like shooting and all, like editing and all that. I just wanted to be a part of it, like go through that very rigorously. But when it comes to administration, like I am facing a lot of challenge to like think into a different manner. Like
Mhm.
sometimes something goes wrong, and like there's a policy that I have to bring in, like, and the problem is like I can't figure out the problem. Although I was from the math background, I think I was good in terms of like sitting
Mhm.
in front of the
Yeah.
papers and solving them. But in terms of life, real life, I'm bad at figuring out problems.
Yeah.
So
So that's what you're learning right now too, is how to
mm,
apply that brain to this situation.
yes,
That's
which
exciting.
is very hard, like a challenge that I'm like
Yeah.
going through. Real
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't think you can learn without there being a struggle, or a little bit of pain.
Hmm.
Because
But I,
if there's no struggle, then you're probably not learning, and you probably already knew it. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, but I feel like I have learned more than my schools or colleges here by
Mm,
being here in the like space.
that's cool.
So I'm like very happy like that this space, like something like this space was even built. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned when we started speaking that you've had some pressure from to like get the master's degree, and maybe you will down the road want to do that, but it sounds like you're learning so much where you are that you don't need to do that right now.
Could be. Yeah. Um, I think in our hills, like our parents think that if you get master's degree, you'll get a better job,
Is it
which
true?
is like, which is, I think, which can happen though. Like if I do a very good thing. At first, I was like thinking to go for masters and PhD, like side by side after
Hmm.
that. But then, yeah, things turned out to be very different, very quite different for me. But still, now, like my parents, like take me, like, okay, I think you should have done masters. You could have done it better, so better. Like, why not you now do it? Like, they just put me into realizing that, oh, you could have done it. You could have done it, even though I just skipped that part and
Yeah.
like I took a different road for myself. So
That must be really hard to go against their advice. What do you think allowed you to not, like, fight that and do things differently? Where did you get that thinking from?
in a way, like the education system was putting, I think, a lot of pressure on me, or maybe like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself that the education system is better. Like, but I
Mhm,
think now that I've come out of the system, like I think education was worse for me. Now
mhm,
that I think like because here people are just studying, and then they're not understanding enough like how the education is really developing their mind, and then how they are like utilizing whatever the things that they have learned.
mhm, mhm.
So beside like understanding and utilizing the education, I think they are not doing all those things. I mean, like they are not utilizing the education thing that they are doing properly.
And you saw
So
that. Yeah.
yeah. I saw all those things, and I felt like, yeah,
Mm,
if I can't ever apply it in my life, like whatever
mhm.
I learned, like, so what's the use of it? So I just felt like, why not I find my own way of learning a different path?
Yeah,
So I just went for it, and I found a like different thing for myself, which was much more suitable, and like my thoughts were aligning with it, and I
yeah,
was happy. Yeah, and when the outcome comes in, like I'm much more happier then. Like one test result is one project for me here, which is like build up like one project in filmmaking is with my community here, with like a lot of people. We collab, learn, and give up the output, wherein I learn communication, wherein I
Yeah.
learn like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff, like gadgets, like a literal thing that I can do with a lot of things. Yeah, and also a skill that I'm developing through time.
Mhm.
But in the education system, I'm just sitting in front of a paper, like
Yeah.
using my mind so hard, which I think is not very applicable also sometimes, or which the people who are studying are not able to apply it properly because
Yeah.
the teachers themselves couldn't apply much properly.
Mm.
So I think it's from the up that the education towards the student is getting like very flat.
Yeah.
So
I still think, though, that it speaks to, like, a real brave courage that you have to question that system. I'm so glad that, like, you've been validated by finding this community and getting to really develop your mind and these skills in the ways that you really wanted to. I am personally always impressed with people who break out of their conditioning, like the way they've been raised, and that's not to say the way they were raised was wrong, but to sort of figure out, like, it was wrong for me, or, like, I wanna try something different, and I just have so much respect for that, Um, because I think it can be really scary and so hard to do, um,
yeah,
yeah. Let's imagine there is a young person listening to this podcast. From your own life, what advice would you give to a young person trying to figure their story, figure out their path? What have you learned that you would want to share?
I think whoever who listen to this podcast, I would say don't get scared to venture out into things. I
Yeah.
think it's a part of life. Like sometimes you just have to let things be there. Like sometimes you just have to let go. If a little bit of instinct comes into you, like this thing is not going right, which you feel very strongly for,
Hmm.
just let go of it because holding on to it, like it's not gonna be very. It all comes with consequences that you choose.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything comes with hardships. I think you said that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you if there's any group or person or organization you want to give a shout out to. Anybody? So you've mentioned PLF, which stands
Yes.
for, what does it?
Progressive Learning Foundation.
And Sikkim Film Institute
Academy.
Academy. Um, yeah, who else?
I think I'll shout out to Kuna, the architecture firm that has been like one of the good ideas that they have come up with is like to revive the culture of like old houses in Sikkim
Mm-hmm.
and modernize it in such different manners.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and speaking with me and sharing about your life and your interests and what you're up to. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think it's gonna be a lot of hard thing for you to edit.
You doubt me? If you've enjoyed today's discussion, I invite you to share this episode and subscribe to Able Pathways podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us to share these meaningful conversations with more people. Have thoughts about this episode or suggestions for future guests? We would love to hear from you. Leave us a comment or email us at hello@ablepathways.com. Until next time, I'm Annabelle, reminding you that there are infinite pathways to growth. May you travel yours with curiosity and courage.